What's the status of Eric Goodbranson and Justin Danforth?
Danforth seems like just a little bug, a little virus. We hope he's going to play tomorrow. And Goodbranson just tweaked something in practice, but it doesn't seem serious. We hope he's going to play tomorrow.
How about Chinakhov?
Good to go.
He's good in Provorov too?
Yes.
Out there. How lucky do you feel with Provorov? I mean, I know you said he had X-rays in Ottawa, and it seemed like that's usually not a good sign when that's happening.
Well, we're being careful. But, yeah, I mean, every time a guy is able to come back and play, that's a bonus.
I know you talked about this yesterday, obviously, when the news broke. This team has been coming together. We've talked about that a lot, about how the guys are really starting to come together and everything. Yeah. And then something like yesterday happens. Can that be either a rallying point or like a hurdle, that you have to get over when it happens when the GM is replaced?
You know what? I don't know it's one or the other. I don't know. Every team is different. Yes, the team is coming together. That was something that happened. And we talk briefly about it. And could it bring the team together? Maybe, but it's not. That's not. Let's put it this way. We're not going to use this to bring the team together. We need a strong foundation, playing for each other, going through the trenches together, facing adversity together. A man lost his job, and we all know, like, all the guys, except for a few, got drafted or signed by Yarmo. So one of our brother got let go. We understand the business that we're in. We know it's potentially there for all of us, but I don't think it's going to create something very positive, which I really don't believe it will, or something negative.
Just kind of right in the middle. So how is it hard though to get past that? Do you think that's going to be a challenge as far as to not let that be a distraction?
We're gonna be challenged in that area. Talking about it is number one, but we're gonna try. All year we've been trying to control what we can control, and we can't control this. We can only do what we can do to prepare for tomorrow and go from there.
Recently, if you look at a lot of the numbers recently, pretty good overall, like the way you guys have played, but maybe the results obviously are not what you want. How tough is that to kind of just grind through that and say, hey, stick to the plan. It's generally working, but we need, more goals and less allowed.
So you struggle until you don't. And our struggle early in the season in the past few years are different than what it is now. We're playing a way better collective game. We see a bunch of guys that are all in at what we're trying to do. We're creating the culture, the accountability. We're going to keep that. It's never ending for the coaches, for the players, for the organization. It's never a season in the NHL. Even the best teams are going through some struggle. In our position right now, we're building something. And in order to build, you're going to go and you're going to face some adversity. And that adversity is sometimes winning or playing well enough to win, but you don't get that final result. Our focus has been on the process because that's what's going to lead us to win more games. And we're going to stick to that plan because we show the players what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. We hold each other accountable. But early in the season, a long answer to make it short, early in the season there was a lot of way more what we can do better. Now it's reduced, and our numbers are showing up.
Yeah. Last one I have for you is just kind of quickly going back to what Yarmo was able to do here as far as the talent. You've coached this team now for almost 3/4 of the season here. He made some picks that were like, considered off the map a little bit. You know, Chinakhov, nobody saw him going where he did, that kind of stuff. What can you say about just the talent, the young talent that's growing here that he and Vili and the whole staff here, you know, put together?
Yarmo, I got to know him this year way more because I was in a position to communicate with him on a daily basis. He's a good man. And he's coming from a scouting background, and his ability to see a player for what he is today and where he's going to be in 3, 4, 5 years is outstanding. He's really good at that, and we have a good pool of talent. We have good young players, but it takes work. It takes a lot of time, and you've seen a lot of teams drafting good young players, but they were put in the position either to fail, they were put in the NHL too quick, or sent to the American League and they stayed there too long, they weren't able. So it's never the same, but his ability to see that potential to me was really good. And what he's done, I mean, the man has done so much for the team, at the rink and away from the rink as an ambassador of the team. He's been with the team for 11 years, so he's done a lot of good things. And you know, but we know what the business we're in.
That Russian line is back together. Why do you want to go back to that? Why do you want to try it again?
They're back together for practice. Probably we'll start with them tomorrow. We know there's some chemistry there, but that chemistry has to be earned, or we have to see it consistently. I think when we split them up, it wasn't. They were playing a style that wasn't working, and we're open-minded in different ways to attack the game, but that style wasn't working at the time. Early, they were playing more north-south, so we had to split them because it wasn't working. Their numbers were showing that, and watching the games, that it wasn't working no more. Now, but we know there's a potential there, and so we're gonna try it again and go from there.
It looked like Ken Johnson was playing net front on the power play there. It's not often that we've seen him anywhere outside of the half wall, but what do you like about him in that spot?
Well, no, it's more than net front. It's actually not net front. He's at the net. He's around the goal line. So one part of our power play that is not necessarily working well is any low plays, and we feel that Ken Johnson can make plays, and we know he can be an half-wall guy. We know he can be in the middle, in the pocket, but we want to create more plays from down low, and he's a guy that can do that. And Boone Jenner will be around the net as well, but he's going to be responsible to retrieve loose pucks. His intensity and his grit will help us with that. So we'll see what's going to happen. But I remember there's a few stats actually that, you know, the best teams in the NHL don't have a net front. They're on the goal line more than net front, screening the goalies. But it depends on the other four. So we'll see how it develops. But we think Kent has the potential to make plays from down low, and he has the vision to do it. Now we'll see if it's going to work. But you know, we're trying every possibilities here to make this work, and for now, but especially for the future, seeing what are the options.
Does that go hand in hand with why, like, there's guys on their strong hands on the wing?
Yeah.
Because, like, if he can make plays to them as one-timers, maybe coming from behind the net instead of, like, across.
That helps a lot. Okay. That helps a lot, yes.